Ladies and gentlemen, it's your boy at it again. Welcome to another edition of the Rico Report, brought to you by you know who. You know who. It's the Buffalo Fanatics, always hitting your ears. Let's have it. Let's go. We are officially, at least for me, sadly, in the offseason. I'll tell you, folks. I'll tell you, man. I'm a little envious. I gotta keep it a buck. I gotta keep it all the way real. I'm a little envious of what I am seeing on my TV, what I'm seeing on my phone, what I'm hearing on the radio while I'm driving. I'm hearing all the laughter. I'm hearing Jameis Winston asking all these. I want him to be asking my players what their favorite color is. You feel me? Oh, we got to watch Chris Jones give us praise, which I appreciate. Well, we should be the ones saying, you know what, the Chiefs, hey, they're good. They're a good squad. They're a good squad. But we made it. We finally made it over 30 plus years. We finally made it. We should be saying this, but now we've got to wait. I do not like waiting, especially because we are in the era now of waiting for things. There's no patience these days. There's none. For those that have kids in here, I'll tell you right now, I'll give you a story. I'll give you a quick story. So I coach my middle child, youngest child. I got four of them. So second to the youngest, I coach her squad. And we're heading back home, right? After practice, she goes, Dad, can I get Subway? I was like, no, we don't got no, I'm not doing Subway. I did what the typical parent would say. We got Subway at home, which we don't. So she goes, yeah, but I don't want Subway at home. I want Subway from the store. I was like, why? Why do you want Subway all of a sudden? She's like, I'll just make you Subway at home. Fine. She wants to call my bluff. Fine. And I tell you this because everything I mentioned that I would make for her once we got home, it takes too long. I'm like, it ain't like I was going to make you a gourmet meal. I was just about to throw some chicken nuggets in the air fryer and some fries and call it a day for you. That takes too long. Takes too long for chicken nuggets and fries. It's not like I had to cut the potatoes myself, take the chicken and batter it and do all that stuff. No. I was going to throw some frozen stuff in there for you. It takes too long, right? And we're in that world where it takes too long. Now that there's Chat GPT, bro, we don't do research anymore. We want it now and we want it fast. And sadly, this is what's taking place in sports because fans get impatient. GMs get impatient. Coaches, not so much. Owners get impatient. They're seeing their colleagues put things together, win championships, and they're like, we want to do the same. So what do we got to do to speed this process up? So we want to give that quarterback time to develop, it's too long. It's taking too long. I haven't seen enough. I've seen enough of this guy. Will Levis, you got to go. I've seen enough. Could you imagine if they did that with Peyton Manning? Could you imagine if they did that with Tom Brady? Could you imagine if you just didn't give these folks the time to really blossom and develop? I tell you. Could you imagine you get married and obviously for those that have been married, it takes time to develop and you're still learning yourself, especially if you get married young. After 3 years, she's like, nah, you know what? Patience. There's no patience these days. There's no patience. So I bring all this up because we're watching the Philadelphia Eagles take on the Kansas City Chiefs, and I can't help myself but truly believe that it should be the Bills and the Eagles. And call me what you want, but this is what it should be. Shouldn't it? Doesn't that feel good? This is what we should be sitting here going, okay, you know what? This right here. Now that's a Super Bowl that I'm intrigued. Their numbers would have spiked. You got the Bills in Super Bowl the first time in such a long time. You got Saquon, you got all that. Now we got to wait. Question is, how much patience does Brandon Beane have? How much patience does Terry Pagula have? How much patience do we have as a fan base? How long are we going to sit here and say, yeah, what we got is cool. I like the squad we got. Let's just give it more time. Sometimes we don't have the time. Go look at the Dallas Mavericks right now. You got a 25-year-old Luka Doncic. I can't even say his name. Doncic. They said, nah, bro, you gotta go. We ain't got the time to wait for you to, get your nutrition better. And we didn't got the time to, you're a baller, but we ain't got the time. We want to win now. And in a way, yes, you're right. Every fan base wants to win now. But do we have the right formula? And that's what I've been sitting here. Like, the Bills being out of it, I get it. You got to sit here and, we take your L and keep it pushing. But then it has you wondering, okay, so what are you supposed to do right now when you're sitting here wondering, what needs to take place? Do we have the right formula? Are we missing something? And every year you got to add, you got to subtract. You got to multiply a couple times. Yeah, sometimes it's a little bit of division. Bed mass, if you will, right? There's a lot of those, a lot of equations that we've got to handle. But for those that are in the chat right now, how much time do we have for this regime to really put it all together until we run out of patience? Do we still have patience left? We know that Josh has done what he needs to do. He's in his prime, right? He's developed. Will he get better? Absolutely. He certainly ain't going to regress. So do we have the patience to watch Josh perform the way he's been performing, but always falling short by this much every time? What formula are we not putting together? What are we missing? What ingredient are we missing for the squad? Well, folks, we have an opportunity. We have a grand opportunity to swing and to swing big. And I got to tell you, we have just as much as a shot to land big stars in this game as anybody else. And it's got to start with this guy right here. If you guys have been living under a rock and have no idea who's available, this brother right here in this Bills uniform. Now, doesn't he look good? Doesn't that blue, that little pop of white, the trimming of red look good on this brother right here? I'm going to tell you, we had Brandon Beane just the other day was talking about, players like Chris Jones don't just grow on trees. We just can't pick them out from anywhere. You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. They don't just grow on trees, right? You're not picking low enough in the draft to be able to get a talent like this. So when they become available, your phone better be on, and the only number that should be on that call history should be the ownership of the Cleveland Browns and seeing what the heck they need for a guy like Myles Garrett. Now, hear me out. Before I get into the whole Myles Garrett situation, I was thinking pass rush. That's a huge part of this game. Everybody's looking for the pass rush. Everyone is looking for the game changer. Everyone's looking for listen, I get it. We can't afford them. Yes, the hell we can. Yes, the hell we can. Listen, there are mathematicians out there. Brandon Beane, if Brandon Beane was an excellent writer, biology, he was amazing, but math was not his forte, that's okay. There are those that know how to do that type of stuff. Hire them. Hire 2 to 3 mathematicians that just know how numbers works and get a finance guy in there too and figure the hell out because I know they can. The question is, do you want to do that? But isn't the goal to win the whole thing? Isn't the goal to put your best product forward no matter what to win the whole thing? Doesn't this guy give you an absolute chance? Or isn't he the edge, pun intended, that you need to get to where you need to be? We've tried it with the mediocre talent. Let's keep it a buck. We've tried it multiple times. We have. Either they stay for a year and they're gone after because it was a rental, or we whiff. I like AJ Epinesa, but he hasn't turned out into the player that we want him to be. I also love Greg Rousseau, but has he turned into that game changer? I still believe we should re-sign him. Don't get it twisted, because we let him walk and we don't do anything about him. He's our best lineman right now. So it brings me back to Myles Garrett. 29 years of age, 6'4", 274, and has a desire to win. What better place to go if he's done his history? He sees it. But he should go to Arizona. For what? For what? What's he going to do out in Arizona? Pass. He should go to Washington. Not bad. Not a bad destination at all. But he did say he wants to win, and it looks like a franchise that's on its way. But Houston looked amazing last year too. And then we saw a little bit of regression, did we not? And I like Stroud. So could we see that in Jane Daniels? Was this the New York Giants when the New York Giants made the playoffs that one year and you're like, okay, Brian Dable's got these boys ready to go, and then down they go. Now, they have much better talent. Don't get me wrong. But could he go to Washington? Would he want to go to Washington? Is Washington ready right now? I don't know. They got Philly in that division. Dallas, who knows what Dallas is going to do? So then if he comes to Buffalo, you got a franchise quarterback. You got a great organization. Go ask your colleagues. They'll tell you. We're on the cusp, knocking at that door. Maybe Myles looks at it and says, okay, I got you. Some might say, yeah, you know what? Myles is cool and all, but we could do better elsewhere. Can we? He is the best. He is the defensive player of the year last year. And he's available at 29, not 35. Then I was like, all right, let me just chill for a second. Let me just chill. Then I was like thinking to myself, I said, Rico, and I said, what? Sometimes I talk to myself and try to figure things out, right? So I'm like, all right, where have we've been in positions where we had pass rushers that they do the job, but they're not here long enough, right? So I started thinking about, because when's the last time we had consistent pass rush play that you can count on that will give you walking double digits sack guy? I had to go all the way back to Aaron Schobel, like 95, 96. He had 2 back-to-back years where he had double digits. I think it was 05, 06. I think it was 95, 96, excuse me. So I'm like, all right, bet. So I was like, who after that? Excuse me, did I say 95, 96? I meant to say 04, 05. Or is it 05, 06? One of those two, excuse me, pardon me. I had to go back to Aaron Schobel, and we like Aaron Schobel. Then I was like, okay, after Aaron Schobel, we must have did something. Boy, we had some pass rushes in our day, but nowhere near the consistent level of Aaron Schobel. Next guy up, Mario Williams, but we had to pay an arm and a leg for Mario Williams. I remember, I don't know if you guys remember this, but this is at the social media and rumors and all that stuff wasn't at the height as it was then, as it is now, right? So I remember having to refresh football. What was it? What was I refreshing at the time? I think I was doing Pro Football Talk. I was refreshing Pro Football Talk like every 30 seconds to see, what did we get? What did we get? Did we get anything? I know we're close. I know they say they want to get somebody. And then we land Mario Williams. Mario, you guys always make fun of me. Mario, say this shit. We get Mario Williams. great pass rusher, consistent. He was getting after it. I think in the 4 or 5 years that we had Mario Williams in our squad, I think he had like 4 seasons, 4 seasons. I'm not looking at it right now, but 4 seasons of 10 or more sacks consecutively from years, I think 2013, 2014 season. Then we had Jerry Hughes, 1 season. Then we had Lorenzo Alexander, another season, but never consistent double-digit sack guy to get us over the hump. A single season here, a single season there, but where's the consistency? And that's what we lacked. That's why we had to move on for Jerry Hughes. Then we brought in Mario Addison. He was a guy that consistently gets there. No. Now we're now chasing guys that are a little older. And can we still get that? We got Leonard Floyd. Leonard Floyd came in, gave us 10.5 sacks. He was gone the next year. Rentals. This ain't a rental. This you can get for another 4 or 5. Why not? Swing and get his ass right now. You have an opportunity. And if you woo him enough, woo, you woo this brother enough, and you really just get your deck out. Get your accomplishment deck out and say, here's what we've done the last 5-6 years. You can see that we're on the rise, and we clearly can't get over the hump with that a-hole that's about to take potentially another freaking Super Bowl from everybody else. Can you help? Can you pay is what he'll be asking. This is where Brandon Beane's got to get magical. He's got to forget about the bargain bin. He's got his player right now. Now, I can understand he might be reluctant to say, I swung at Von Miller and I missed horribly. I paid him a lot of money and I didn't nearly get the production that I needed. Fair. It's absolutely fair. So now we're sitting in a position that you're not looking at a 35, 34-year-old at the time. You're looking at a guy that is still hungry. He is going to Canton, but he's hungry to win. He wants to win. What does Buffalo want? Buffalo desperately wants to win. Bro, what are we talking about here? Go get his ass, bro. Go get his ass, man. Get on the phone with his agent and say, yo, what is it, bro? What is it? Now, he will be pursued by a whole lot of squads, but there aren't a whole lot of squads that have the quarterback that we have. There are 5, maybe 5 elite quarterbacks in this game. He's had way too many average quarterbacks to sit here and mess around. If he's trying to win, you want to go, if I'm him, you're looking at Joe Burrow's team within the division, and Cleveland ain't giving up Myles Garrett within the division. They'd be a fool to do that. If anything, they send him to the NFC, right? But Cleveland ain't going to be competing anytime soon. You guys buried yourself with that god-awful contract to Watson. So he ain't going to Cleveland. Excuse me. He ain't going to Pittsburgh. It's not going to happen. They already got their boy. He ain't going to division. Let's put it that way. He ain't going to. Joe Burrow would be one guy he wants to go to. All right. KC, I would absolutely strangle the heck out of Goodell if you let that happen. You can't let that happen. But stranger things have happened. KC would be ideal place for him to go. Can't see that happening, right? If you don't want to give more ammo to KC, please don't. All right, well then who else is elite enough at quarterback that you got to go to? You're not going within the division. You got 2 of the best quarterbacks in the division in your division. It's not going there. Jane Daniels, maybe. He's getting his name up there. Not quite there. Fam, you got to go to Buffalo with Josh. And he young. He 27, 28. Bro, Brandon Beane, if you know what's good and you see that the time is ticking, there's only so much you can keep groups together until you got to shuffle groups around again. Right now, you can kind of keep this group together. O-line stays intact. Josh is still there. And you got James Cook that I'm sure you're going to work your deal with. Is Josh 28? Josh is 29. I think he just turned 29. My bad. I was trying to make him seem a little younger. You caught me. Gotcha. Anyway, you catch what I'm saying, bro. Let's get it going. Do what you must, sir. Now, just if Myles Garrett is not around, let's just say he's not around. Are we okay? Do you feel good enough to go after Khalil Mack? He'll be available. But are we not just repeating ourselves by going after once a star? We eluded him back in the day. You guys know when we had an opportunity to take Khalil Mack and we decided to go with Sammy Watkins. But fam, do we dare go after Khalil Mack? How old is Khalil Mack right now? Maybe I'm tripping. Let me see. Khalil Mack, 33 years of age. Bro, we'd be doing the same thing that we did with Von Miller. If you get Khalil Mack, like, it's a rental. It's a rental. So you're going to rent him for, like, does he have enough juice? Bro, we need someone with juice, bro. And, and thank you, my man. Lucho's like, yo, he's past his prime. He absolutely is past his prime. Could he still play? Absolutely. He probably should. He probably could. Mac, I could see going to a team like Kansas City. I could totally see that. But if you add Mac, you have to add somebody else. You just got to. But, like, we're in the business of getting someone that can change the game. That's what we're in the business of. Someone that is a game wrecker, game changer. Bro, you got to go after him. Now, Max Crosby. I don't know if Max Crosby wants to leave the Raiders. Right now, Crosby, how old is Crosby? I just got to double check how old he is. I know he ain't an old man. Crosby's 27 years of age. 27. Now, if you want, you could build off of Crosby as well. He nasty. He hungry. He can't stand the Chiefs. So you want someone that knows all about Pat Mahomes, and he goes, bring me somewhere, because I'll be just as happy, to be honest with you. I'll be real. I'll be just as happy if we can't get a guy like Myles Garrett. I get it. If they say he's too rich for my blood, okay. But if you swing for something like this, you best get Crosby, because you need someone that has the hatred, the disdain for Pat Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs. Every time I see Pat Mahomes in that clip where he goes, hey, dog. Anytime he says dog, I think it's hilarious. Hey, dog, you can't be hitting me like that, dog. You can't, man. Hey, referee, he can't be hitting me like that, dog. Bro, that tells me bring Max Crosby to town, because you will come to a team that hates the Chiefs and Pat Mahomes' success. They don't hate the kid, but they hate the success they've had. Bro, you have to get, like, Brandon Beane. And my point in all of this, right? My point in all of this is Brandon Beane cannot sit here and give us, and I get GM talk, but talk to us. You know what I mean? Talk to us. You can't give us, hey, we're not going to be big spenders this year. Man, all that. You said that to us last year, and we hated it. Hated it. We did. We can't stand it. We're sitting here watching all these other teams do all this work. I have no idea how the Eagles are able to do what they do. Acquire this guy, acquire that guy, pay that guy, sign that guy over here, draft this guy. Dude, their roster is nasty work. How? And we sitting here, oh, we just don't have the money because, bro, the Rams didn't have the money, and they were paying a whole whack of people and didn't have the picks either. That owner GM combination they have over there in Philly, they got it worked out. They got to figure it out. So when you guys go to your next owners meeting, bro, sit next to that cat. Put an ear next to his conversations. How he talking? Because I'm gonna tell you right now, bro, the patience will run thin with Bills fans. Patience is already running thin. I'll keep it a buck with y'all. Patience is already running thin. And the older Josh Allen gets, the less patience people will have. So you better start making things happen right now, Mr. Bean. Mr. Bean. We listen until I like Brandon Bean first and foremost. I love how he keeps it all the way 100. I wasn't too keen to. I didn't like his presser this year. He didn't keep it all the way. You feel me? I don't know if you guys understand what I'm saying, but I'll tell you this: patience is running thin. So, Mr. Bean, we can't call you Triple B until you make Triple B moves this offseason. Is that fair? Talk to me now. Tell me if it's fair. Mr. Bean, we can't call you Triple B if you're going to turn into the bargain bin bean. We don't want bargain bin bean. We've had that the last couple of years now. Bargain bin bean is cool. But now we ate that money from Diggs. We should free up some things. We're going to move some things around. We're going to cut some players. We know what's going to happen. Fam, come on now. Talk to me, Mr. Bean, because you going to be Mr. Bean right now. You're Mr. Bean. You become Big Baller Bean when we see that move. We see that move, this move. We see the Max Crosby move. Go out and get it. They don't have a quarterback out there. They got a new head coach. They got the same defensive coordinator. Maybe he wants to stay with the defensive coordinator, maybe not. But new regime, new everything, bro. They might be open to say, hey, let me get some draft capital. We could talk about Max Crosby. Bro, 27 years of age? If you can't get Myles Garrett, you better get your paws on Max Crosby. Because if I know anything, that brother does not like the Kansas City Chiefs. And he'll know that we face the Kansas City Chiefs every freaking year, if not twice. Damn near a division foe. So I say this, Mr. Bean, because that's exactly what I'm going to call you. I'm going to call you Mr. Bean until Big Baller Bean shows up. You Mr. Bean to me. And I say this with all the respect. I say this with all the respect. My other laptop is trying to tell me it's gonna refresh on me. I don't want that to happen. And let me just take a quick peek, real quick, at what Max Crosby's done this year. Excuse me, his career. Because Max Crosby has had what? He's 27 years of age. This boy is consistent. He doesn't lose. He doesn't miss games. Just his last year, he had 12 games. He had a bug. But the year before that, 17, 17, 17, 16, 16. Bro, he's consistent. He stays on the field. Look at this. Rookie season, 10 sacks. 7 sacks a year after that. 8 sacks. Here's the consistency. 12 sacks. 12 and a half sacks. 14 and a half sacks. And then he had the 12-game season that he had this year. And he still had 7 sacks. 7 and a half sacks. Bro, we need consistency at that position. Mr. Bean, I want to start calling you Big Baller Bean. The name is on pause for now. Because I love Brandon Bean. I'm going to keep it a buck. I love Brandon Bean. But his name's on pause for now. Because he's just going to be Mr. Bean. And the minute he gives us what we truly want, a difference maker on the defensive side of the ball, and then you have your draft that you can do what you do. But until then, brother, patience is running thin in Buffalo. Patience is running thin with some folks because now we're looking at this. We've seen the consistency in losing to the same damn team. And forget about the coaching at this point. Because every year, it's not like we get blown out by the Kansas City Chiefs. We always play close to them, but it's always because of something. It's because we're just over the edge, but we're almost there. But well, fuck, man. Like if you can't tell me is coaching what is this? Is that it, or is it the talent on the field? There comes a time where you be like, yo, does the talent, does it match? I mean, if I were to match my roster with Eagles roster, do we match up? Hell no, we don't. We don't. Who was I talking to? I don't know who I was talking to. I forgot. I think it was my brother. Actually, I was talking to my brother. My brother's he always sets me straight and keeps it real. Sometimes I may have my my bias glasses on, or my goggles, if you will. And he'll set me straight and be like, no, bro. You're not looking at it objectively. And I was like, all right, cool. Let me hear what you got to say. He's like, think about it. He's always been in the realm, and let me flip the script a little bit. He's always been in the realm where, bro, it's not the players. It's somewhat the players, but I've been telling you this for years, and he's been on my case. He is not a big fan of head coach Sean McDermott. And not because he doesn't see McDermott as a good coach. He's a good coach. He's just getting beat every single time by the same coach. There comes a time where you're like, dude, what are you doing? What are you doing that's not getting the job done? So he's like, and I've always felt that this guy was a wishy-washy coach when Nate Peterman was having, what was it? Yeah, the Nate Peterman game. You know the game. You know that game. My man starts Nate Peterman, says he's going to be the starter. Nate Peterman is absolute ass. And then he says, bad idea, and puts Tyrod back in. He should have never took Tyrod out in the first place because you knew there was no talent over here in the first place. I understood why the move was made. But from an outsider's perspective, he's like, why would you even? He's not even as good as Tyrod, even close to that. But he made that move. Ever since your coach made that move, he was done for me. And I was like, fair play, fair point. Which brings me now to the point that I'm at now. Forget about the coaching at this point. Do we have the talent? Do we have the talent on both sides of the ball to compete and really get ourselves over the edge? At one point, is it the coaching or is it the talent on the squad? Which really blows because I feel in 2020, we had the talent. I felt that we had the talent. Coaching is what got us on that one. Call it what you want. Coaching got us on that one. But now you're like, okay, we have the talent. And I've heard multiple things. I've heard that, and I felt that, that one kind of hit for me a little bit. The talent that we had on the roster, we outplayed. I don't know, how did they word it? I want to try to get how they worded it. It was something to the nature of we overachieved defensively as a talent, because with the scheme that McDermott put together and the way he coached, he got these guys to play above and beyond. Their play. Because anytime that any player has left this defense, have gone somewhere else, have you heard them do exceptional things? I can't think of a player right now. Maybe I'm hating. I'm in my hater mode right now, but I can't think of a player that has left McDermott's defense, got themselves a contract elsewhere, and is thriving, is killing the game. Tremaine Edmonds took a huge bag. It went to the Bears. I would love to ask Bears fans how they feel about Tremaine Edmonds, and I don't know. I just know that I don't hear his name. I'm just trying to think. Jordan Poyer, I can't use Jordan Poyer because Jordan Poyer is on the tail end of his career, so I'm not going to use Jordan Poyer. Jerry Hughes went to Houston. Did you hear much of Jerry Hughes over there? You see what I'm trying to say is that brother can coach, but do we have the talent? Do we have the talent? Do we have enough talent? And I think this is where Brandon Beane has to really look at the freaking roster and look and see, okay, what am I doing here? Am I giving this offense that was second in the league, putting up points, am I giving them enough? I gotta reevaluate. Is there a dog on this team? Defensively, I'm looking at this list. All right. Do we consider Terrell Bernard a dog? And we've had this conversation so often, I'm getting sick of it. But we have to revisit every time. Terrell Bernard, Taron Johnson, Ed Oliver. This offseason is going to be very interesting. This offseason is going to be very interesting. We got a little money in the bank. The cap's going to go up. He's going to make some moves here and there. At least show us that you're trying to match energy. What the offense was able to produce, give me the talent on the defensive side of the ball. We got to figure out what we're doing at the cornerback position. Rasul Douglas, we don't know what's going on. Does he come back? Do they want him back? Is he the right fit? Do we need him back? Is he the right corner for this team or what we're trying to do? Was he the player that he once was? Christian Benford, absolute dog on that squad. We know what we have in Christian Benford. Cole Bishop is coming along. Matt Milano does he still have the bite left in him? He's got a whole offseason to go. I hope he stays safe, because if he gets hit again, golly. But we've got major upgrades to fulfill on this team. Major upgrades. Because we've been snaked, if you will, or we've given away too much assets that has bit us in the ass. We traded away pick number 12, gave it to the Kansas City Chiefs. They decided to go and grab Pat Mahomes. All right, bet, we get it. Trent McDuffie. The Bills were going to grab Trent McDuffie. They hopped over the Bills and said, yoink, gotcha. You ain't getting Trent McDuffie. We got him. He's been a thorn on our side. And then, whether you want to call it a hit or not, Xavier Worthy going to the Bills. Could the Bills have grabbed him? Did the Bills need him? We don't know. Did they have something in their minds that they wanted at the time? Sure. But that's 3 players one can look at, because that's my brother who reminds me every time. They got Worthy, they got Pat Mahomes, and Trent McDuffie. And those 3 players burnt your ass for the 3rd, 4th straight time to go to the Super Bowl. You guys have to be sick. I was like, yo, I don't want to hear you anymore. I hung up the phone. I'm done. I don't want to talk to you anymore. It's depressing. So we've got to get the talent on the squad. We got to. Now, one thing I can be encouraged about, and I think we should all be encouraged about, is what we have offensively. Be encouraged with that O-line. Be encouraged with James Cook. Golly. Be encouraged with what we got in James Cook. Be encouraged with what we got in Josh Allen and his hunger to bring something to Buffalo. The receiver end, that's where we have to have conversations. So I go to you in the chat because I'm curious. If you were to rate, I'm gonna rate it out of 5. 5 meaning you love the receiver position, you love what we have at the receiver, and we can build off of everything you see at the receiver position. I'm a 5, okay? Or you're a 1, where you're like, yo, I hate the receivers. They're too mixy-matchy. There's not a dominant receiver on the squad. There's not a number 1 where we're struggling to find who's going to be the guy that steps up today and be the guy that Josh trusts. That's 1. Or where do you fall? I'd like to know. So 1 to 5. 5, you love it. You can see us building on it, and it's not an issue. Don't even address that position. Or are you a 1? Address the position because we just don't have the personnel to really compete out there, and it's not working out. I'm very curious because I find myself looking at the offense and saying, wow, we were an offense that put up 30 points a game. Wow, we were amazing. Keep it up. Let's go. And then I start really dissecting and look at the offense. I'm like, yeah, okay. The running back, I mean, he had a 1,000-yard season, 16 touchdowns. All right, you could say thumbs up. You coming back, baby. All right. And I say receiver room, and I also I'm putting the tight ends in that room as well, by the way. Receiver and tight end. Pass catchers. I'm gonna tell you right now, where I'm looking at this, I'm like a 3 right in the middle, and it's a cop out to say 3. So if I can't take 3, I'm going 2. I'm certainly not going 4. I don't feel good when I look at that receiver room, because nobody in that receiver room makes a corner by going. Nobody's looking at and going, hold on, where's number? No, nobody's doing that. Run your coverage and let's roll. So if I can't pick 3, I'm picking 2, 2.5. I would say 2.5. See, this is where I'm at. Phil, I'm with you, kid. That's where I'm at. Mark Green's like a 1. He said, F that. I'm going 1. My man Ravens for Life says, your Worthy is a beast. I love that guy. And he'll get better. He'll absolutely get better. Now, I'm not going to sit here and poo-poo all over this receiver room because I'm bringing the receivers up for a reason. Here's why. Let me go to my page here. I'm going to try to find it. I think it was Simon Howard. One of the, and forgive me, and this is not to insult at all. I'm maybe messing up the names. Howard Simon, I think it is, from WGR. He was referring to the receiver room, and it was like, I guess, a guy that he provided a stat, and the stat was alarming to me. And maybe it shouldn't be alarming, but it was alarming to me. And it was something in the nature of, there was a guy going through receiver position and what these receivers and how these receivers were utilized. All right. And I'm trying to find where it's at. I'll find it. And something that stood out to me, I was like, what? And why? And why was this happening? And 40%, that 40% is damn near high. I got to find it so I can reference it properly. 40% goal balls were going to the guy that you least expected it to go to. The guy that is known, or at least coming out of college was known for not getting separation and for not being fleet of foot, not being fast. Yet, he was sent on goal balls 40% of the time. Let me share my page so I can show you what I'm talking about. Hear me out, folks. Let me get it here. Can you see my page? Let me put that here. Look at this for a quick second. Let me see if I can. Maybe that'll work. Anyway, so this guy named Rich Hribar. Geez, what a name is that? H.R. Rebar. I think it's Hribar. I think it's just probably Rebar. The H is silent, right? So Rich Rebar says percentage of targets. So he has a whole thread, right? He says nobody asked for it, but here's a thread on some random receiver stats from True Media. Okay. Puka Nacua led all receivers with a target of 37% of his routes, including the posties. That's absolutely insane. 37%. That is the highest rate for a receiver running 100 plus routes in a season over the last 10 years. Amazing stat. All right. So then I was like, okay, cool. He's running through receiver stats. Then I get down to this interesting one right here. All right. Percentage of targets that came on go routes. A minimum of 50 targets on the year. How is Keon Coleman at 40% go routes? Look who the company is. Marvin Harrison Jr., first receiver taken off the draft. George Pickens, dog. Troy Franklin, known for speed. Look at Mac Hollins up there. I found that interesting too. Mac Hollins, 24.1. Not guys known for speed. Adonai Mitchell, 4.340. Alan Lazard. How he's up there, I'm not too sure. But anyway, Alec Pierce, big type receiver, can run. DK Metcalf, 4.3 guy. Roma Dunze, 4.3 guy. So I was like, how is he getting 40% go balls? And I had to sit with that for a minute. I was like, okay, are they counted as broken plays? Because I know sometimes Josh will roll right, and then he'll look for someone to kind of toss to, but is it off of that? Are they designed? And I found that bizarre to me. What the heck is going on? And I'm like, is it Brady that just doesn't understand? And here I am trying to question guys that do this professionally. So don't come at me thinking, what the hell does Rico know? I'm just asking questions. All right. What the hell is he doing running go routes? If he can't get separation, he doesn't have the speed for it, but you're sending him deep. Huh? So is that a matter of you don't know your personnel and what they're good at? Or you overestimate what they can do. I just don't understand. You think you'd get someone that does that, like a Curtis Samuel that's got the speed for that. I get it. He's a jump ball guy, so you're setting him on goal routes so he can go for the jump ball or back shoulder. But fam, you send the boys that can get down and get the distance. I was baffled by that. I really was. I couldn't understand it. So I'm sitting here going, that's an odd stat for Keon Coleman. He's not known for deep speed nor separation, but 40% of his targets were on goal routes. What? So is this a misuse of skill position? A lack of the lack of the personnel? Like, what is it? So that's why I asked that receiver position. Are you happy with what we have a receiver? Can we get Josh to the next level to get us over the hump? And it sucks to ask that question because we're sitting with him looking at an offense that puts up 30 points a game. So how dare I, or how dare we, ask these questions? My man, Brown Buyer says, what's crazy, Rico, is that Mac Hollins is a better route runner than Keon. It's alarming. Absolutely. At least Mac Hollins, you saw the results. And you're like, okay, I can see that. I mean, just go back to the AFC Championship game. That deep ball throw from Josh Allen to Mac Hollins over the shoulder, money. I get it. So, which tells me bring the personnel, the right personnel to this receiver room. And this is not shady Mac Hollins, because Mac Hollins was a bright spot on this offense. Whether you want to call him receiver 1 or receiver 19. Point is, he made plays for Josh. You have Khalil Shakir, that is a 4-3 guy, I believe, and I'll have to double check. When do you see him go deep unless it's a broken play? Honestly, I don't see it. So I guess this brings me to Joe Brady. Joe Brady, fam, don't think we as fans don't notice these little things. The minute you took over, the production for Stephon Diggs went down. And trust me, we started winning. So I ain't got no issues with that. Believe me. But can't we win and utilize your number one receiver? I think this is where Brady has to develop something. Because I'll tell you right now, we invested a first-round draft pick in Dalton Kincaid. First year looked promising. He was banged up a little this year, but we still are asking for more. Get that brother involved. Understand that you have some guys that can be big-time players. Second-round draft pick, Keon Coleman. First-round draft pick, Dalton Kincaid. Second-round draft pick, James Cook. Love the usage of James Cook. Love it. But this is as an overall offensive coordinator, brother. You gotta know when, the big dogs need that bone. And I don't want to sound like I'm crazy criticizing. We're in the offseason. This is where holes are poked. And hopefully these things these things improve and we have a better product on the field. My man said, yo, Keon is dumb as F. He doesn't get it. Yo, you guys are stupid. I'm just saying, and you guys have been listening to, and thankfully, you guys have been listening to me long enough. Am I tripping with the topics that I'm raising, or the concerns that I'm raising? Am I tripping? Am I out of pocket? Y'all let me know. It seems, we got the right pieces. We've got the protection. We've got the quarterback. We've got the run game. Bro, we got to get the right personnel for the squad, man. Okay, if Keon's going to be around for a while, which he will, he's the big body receiver. Brandon Beane already displayed his discontent with how Keon came back from injury. It looked like he was gaining momentum, and then he lost all momentum and never was the same. Was just a one-catch, two-catch receiver. Curtis Samuel, inconsistent all year. Amari Cooper just got here. He was just happy to be on a team that was winning. That's what it looked like, right? We used them a little bit at the beginning, and then we said, nah, F it. We good over here. What? Where they do that at? So it comes, listen, there at one point, at some point, one point, Brandon Bean's got to say, all right, man, we got to swing for it. We got to swing for it. Like, we got to swing for it. We lost 4 straight times. What are we waiting for? The right moment to, bro, you got to swing for that shit right this second. And if you have the ability to do it now, if you got to move a couple things, move a couple things. I'm going to tell you something right now, man. Rob Pelinka, I'm a Laker guy. That's my squad. And AD has been a thorn in my side. Just damn good player, but inconsistent with his body. Can't stay healthy. You a big man and you get pushed around on the block like fam. So Pelinka's like, I see it. He got to go. Don't tell the league. Doncic, offensive firepower. Defensively, we're going to have to work on that. But AD go whatever. But I bring this up because sometimes you just got to make a move. Sometimes you got to make a move. It may not be popular with the masses, but you got to make a move for the betterment of the team. So are we holding on to something that shouldn't be on the squad that needs to be moved? That's a whole nother question now. Are we holding on to someone on the squad? Be like, yo, bro, if we move this, we can still get some capital for this dude, but we could really make this team better. Because I'm looking at the personnel, I'm looking at everything, bro. That's the part that I like and dislike about the offseason, where you're poking holes. But sometimes when you poke holes, you're poking holes to find ways that you can make this team better. But where do we make this team better? And do we have enough to give up? Is Greg Rousseau someone that you can say, you know what, let me trade this Greg Rousseau for something? Let me trade this Matt Milano for something, for someone to make this better. I don't know. I'm looking at the whole pie and looking at it. At least I got one person say, y'all, nah, Rico, you speaking the truth. I appreciate that. You know what I mean? Appreciate that, bro. Sometimes I'll be talking and I'm like, maybe you're not really feeling what I'm saying. My man Don says, yo, Rico, we as fans also wanted T. Higgins. Ooh, T. Higgins is going to be rich for our blood. T. Higgins is going to be asking for the bag. As he should. He deserved it. That boy came back and was on fire. I don't know. Y'all let me know. Cook is probably our most tradable asset, but do you want to trade? I mean, he is. He is. Does Brandon Bean value the running back position as much as he should? Maybe he did because he went and drafted Ray Davis. He's got Ty Johnson that he values very much. So is James Cook one that he's like, I know the shelf life of a running back, so you know what? I'm going to get rid of him. I'm not saying he does have to do it, but if it strikes us something that gets us over the edge where we may not lose too much in the running back room, I'm for it. I like what James Cook did this year. Trust me and believe that. But Ray Davis can run the mother effing football. Ray Davis can pass protect. Ray Davis can, go out and catch a football. You've seen it this year. He can do it all. Does he have the speed that James Cook has? Absolutely not. But I'm going to tell you this. Tell me why. You know what I'm talking about. Tell me why last possession, it was our last possession, so I'll just say it. Last possession of the Bills Kansas City game, who was the running back on the field in our last possession? Ty Johnson, the third string running back. Odd, first and foremost. You want to get your best on the field. But Ty Johnson was the running back on the field. Why? Oh, because, he catches the ball in the backfield and he also pass protects. We're in pass mode. So if Brandon Bean came to me right now and said, or he came to Bills Mafia and said, yo, I can get Myles Garrett. I got to give up a first. I got to give up next year's second and a fifth and James Cook for Myles Garrett. Wrap it up. Bring me my guy, Myles Garrett, because we're still going to be effective running the football, and we get ourselves a big boy to get after it. Sorry, James Cook. It's been real. But your brother keeps campaigning for you to get the big bag. 20 mil. I saw 20 mil. I said, bro, what crack you smoking? Whatever it is, let me get a taste. Because whatever you think that your bro's gonna get 20 mil, you tripping. And here's the big thing. You give up James Cook, you got to, and I hate to even think about it because James Cook had a great year, but this is when you sell high. Sell high. And if you go and look at the Cleveland Browns, Chubb Chubb came back, but did he get hurt at the end of the season? Again, I can't recall. Please let me know, because I knew he was having bad luck. I don't know if he got hurt again. I'm just looking at Nick Chubb who got hurt. Point is, they might be able to make something happen. Trade him, my man, to Cleveland. We get Myles Garrett, Ray Davis. Let's roll. Let's roll. They're going to want to do something with Nick Chubb. That boy coming off of 2 bad knee injuries. You got to get a spark. And they seen what James Cook can do. I'm just saying. So Brandon Beane, look at all your options. I'm talking about all of them. If you want to learn something from the NBA, take a look what just happened between AD and my man Doncic. And not only that, keep this in mind. The Lakers said they're not done. We're trying to get another big. So they're still moving some pieces around. Why? Because we need to win now. We need to win now. Like, we're La La Land, man. Everybody's watching LA. What we doing? LeBron James is only here for another 2, maybe 3 years. And I'm really stretching it when I say 3. Maybe another year, maybe 2. If it does 3, shoot, good for him. Dallas is not done either. They're talking about trying to get KD over there. Bro, everybody's trying to make moves now. But look around. Tyreek Hill's like, yo, get me out of Miami, please. Bro, you start making moves, bro. Make your moves. But I'm going to tell you right now, if we're going to make moves, we make moves for the defensive side of the ball, because the offense is always going to be good when Josh Allen is at the helm. They're always going to be good. So now it's a matter of finding the right pieces. Each level needs something. Take a look at what the hell's going on in the Super Bowl this weekend. Act like you guys don't want to watch, but you guys going to watch. It might be for a half, but you're going to watch. And I'm looking at this, looking at Kansas City at all levels of the football, okay? Chris Jones, bingo. Nick Bolton, play ya. Trent McDuffie can play. All 3 levels, they got a dog. All 3 levels, they got a dog. Maggie says she's not watching. Maggie, you're going to watch a little bit. You'll probably watch a quarter. Maybe you'll watch the halftime show. Halftime show matters. I'm not watching the halftime show. I'm not going to watch Kendrick Lamar try to dog my guy Drake. I ain't going to do it. If I hear Not Like Us one more time, turn the TV off, man. I ain't doing it. I gotta ride with my dog Drake, man. I gotta ride with my guy, man. But I'm gonna tell you this, man. I'm a Drake stan. I ain't gonna front it. I'm a Drake stan. That's my guy. We Canadians got to stick together, man. He's been running the game for so long. Now my man Kendrick wants to get a piece of the pie. Drake's not used to sharing the piece of the pie, so he's a little upset. But wait till my guy comes back. He's gonna be dropping music for your head tops. You won't be able to stop it. I'm just saying. Anyway, let me keep it rolling. Let me keep it rolling. He said, "What's a Drake? Mr. Spaghetti, stop playing." My man said, "You already played yourself saying, turn this TV off." Turn the TV off, man. We ain't watching no Kendrick Lamar. My man's making money off of Not Like Us, and you know who it's about. You know what I mean? Ain't nobody bumping anything else that's really got it going on. Get out of here with that. I asked one of y'all, what's the last, if you bumping Kendrick's song, what song you bumping that's like blaring in your car all summer long? Where's the summer track that summer track that's got you right? That club track that's got you right. Exactly right. That track for you and your lady to sit next to each other. Nothing. Well, get out of here with that. Anyway, I digress. Let me move on. So let me wrap this all up. By the way, if you guys are enjoying this conversation, you guys are enjoying this pod, do me a favor. Smash that like for your boy. You guys know what it is. Listen, we are 600 subs shy of 30,000. Let us get over the hump. We need that hump. Let me get over that hump, man. The same way the Bills need to get over the hump of that Super Bowl. Let your boys get over the hump, man. If you like what Z-Bop, my man Pierre, myself are doing, let us get over the hump, man. Sub, like this pod, get the algorithms going, and let's roll. All right. Let me wrap this up. Let me land this plane real quick. My man J. Cole, better than both of them. I'm a fan of J. Cole, so I like J. Cole. J. Cole's my guy. Here, let me throw another one for you. Joey Badass. Boom. You guys go check out my man Joey Badass. He nice like that. And he coming from a man Kendrick. I'm just saying, watch out. Anyway, my boy Rico be driving around Nova Scotia blasting best ever. You a fool. Anyway, let me land this plane real quick. All right. At the end of the day, what needs to happen is this. Not what needs to happen. I'm sure Brandon Beane is sitting here just wondering, all right, what do I got to do? Because I only have this quarterback for so long. He's going to be asking for another contract. So I gotta work that in. And if I'm Josh, I'm looking at this situation and saying, I might have to actually pull. Think about this now. I might have to actually pull the Tom Brady effect, the Tom Brady way, and say, if I'm going to take less money, you need to show me what the you're bringing to this squad to make me get over the hump. At this point, I'm getting pissed off that I can't take this guy down. And it's not my fault. I'm doing everything I can to get us there, but just dead weight. So help me out. If you're not about to help me out, then pay me my money. And then I'm going to just get my money and do what I do and forget about the Super Bowl. I'll just try to get my MVPs all year. I'll just stat pad all day. But Josh ain't like that. Josh wants to win. So that being said, Brandon Beane's going to have to really sit down and really figure this the fuck out. Pardon my language. I try not to cuss, but sometimes it just feels good to drop an F-bomb here and there. We got to figure this the fuck out. Get my agent in here. Brandon Beane, get in here, shut the door. Let's figure this the hell out. What are we doing on the defensive front? All you've been doing is investing and putting money in the defensive front, and we just not getting there. You got an undersized defensive tackle in Ed Oliver. Sometimes he shows up, sometimes he doesn't. We need a dude that shows up all the time. That's been our problem. We don't have a guy that consistently shows up. The closest we had was Greg Rousseau. And even then, if you look at the last game, Greg Rousseau was non-existent. I think that was one of his worst games I've seen from Greg Rousseau. When the lights are the brightest? Nah, bro. When the lights are the brightest, we needed someone that matches the energy of my fucking quarterback. So if you got to move a couple pieces that you thought were going to be part of the future, then you got to do it. So that's when my man Josh comes in and says, all right, what you got? Lay it out for me. I like my O-line. What are you going to do for me at receiver? Where's my deep speed? Where is it? Where's the guy that I can really go out and get it? Why did we go after, this is not Josh talking, this is me talking. Why did we go after Keon Coleman when we had the size and the athletic ability and Adonai Mitchell? Why did we let that go? Let me go back a little bit. Josh, whenever you needed a first down, whenever Josh needed a first down, who was the one receiver? And I'm not even going to put anything in your head. Out of all the receivers that Josh has thrown the football to, who was the one receiver that when they needed the sticks moved, he went after this receiver or tight end or whoever? Who was it? Everyone should say one name, and we should all be in an accord when we think about it. Think of all the receivers that Josh has had, but you knew it's 3rd and 6. Yeah, I'm going there. You know it's going there, and this person is getting the first down. Who was it? Please tell me we're all on the same page. Freaking Cole Beasley. Let's keep it a buck here. Trust me, I love Diggs. But Cole Beasley, when it was John Brown and Cole Beasley, bees is what we were saying. We had the ability, and it's too late now, but we had the ability to grab Ladd McConkey. Good old Ladd McConkey. We had the freaking opportunity to grab him, but we said, nah, bring me that dude right there. Ladd McConkey killing it over there with the Chargers. Could you imagine Ladd McConkey with the Bills? Bam. I bring this up for a reason. I either need to see a huge leap. I either need to see a huge leap from Khalil Shakir, or is Khalil Shakir right out of the ceiling? Is this what we get from Khalil Shakir? Because if that's the case, like I said, if it's James Cook we got to move, or it's Khalil Shakir we got to move, we got to do something to get us over the hump, man. 4.3 speed, but relegated to screen plays and no deep throws. Like, it's frustrating. So this is where Brady has to figure it the hell out. What are you doing? Like, who's doing what? I just don't get it. Go look right now at the Eagles right now. AJ Brown, the number one guy. Will they cry a little bit for the football? Absolutely. As a leader, that's for you to control and you to handle. Hey, I got you. We're going to make this thing work. Like Peyton Manning. That boy went from Marvin Harrison, then he went to Reggie Wayne. He always had that dog for him. Come on, man. This was cute to try to get by with, everybody eats, but like there comes a point where daddy says, yo, I got the biggest plate. Mama, fill me up, mama. Mama, fill me up. The little kids will get it after I'm done. Back in the day, I'll just speak on my father-in-law. My father-in-law used to tell me about his mother, and nobody would eat until dad got home. Dad was fed, and then everybody else got fed. Bro, we can't just be feeding everybody. I'm probably part of a different. I see it differently. It was cool to see everybody eats. I even got in it because I even got sucked into it. But when push comes to shove, can't everybody eat? Sorry. Somebody's going to get a bigger portion than somebody else. It's just what it is. It's just what it is. So if we can land a big dog, listen, how crazy of an offseason if the Bills, this is where Big Baller Bean can earn his Big Baller Bean back. Okay? Freaking quad bean. Big Baller Bean back. All right? This is where he can earn his Big Baller Bean back. If you can get Myles Garrett and spring Cooper Kupp, I'm dead. Now, the media would have a frenzy. They'd be like, yo, Who's stopping these Bills? You got Cooper Kupp, a route running receiver that can get deep. You got a game wrecker in a defensive end. Bro, where's the noose? I'm dead. Bro, could you imagine? You're going to have to move some pieces, though. But you have a game wrecker and a game changer on the offensive side of the ball. And you got Ray Davis, and you got your O-line is intact. Cooper Kupp, Keon Coleman, Khalil Shakir. Would you have to move on from a couple people? Yeah, you probably would. But that's swinging. You got to swing, man. Like, if you don't do it now when Josh is 29, bro, when the fuck are you going to do it? You just going to keep stringing us along? And by the way, I apologize for the ladies in the room. I don't like cussing, but when I'm in it, I'm in it. I apologize. Forgive me, Lord. I told the good Lord I'd promise I'd cut down on the cussing, so I got to chill. We Christians, we got some flaws we got to work on. You know what I mean? But I'm gonna tell you this. This might all be a pipe dream. My man said this is Allen abuse. It's all Allen abuse. This might be a pipe dream. Can it possibly happen? I don't know. My man said, yo, it's all that Christian rap you listening to. You a fool. My man, Mark Green keeps saying Tyreek Hill. No, Miami is not going to let Tyreek Hill come to us. Laura's like, ladies cuss too. Trust me, I know. My lady upstairs is a sailor. She is a sailor. That boy, I have to be the one saying, yo, chill out. And I'm here, chill the fuck out, man. But here, real talk. Let me land this plane now. We just want success. We just want the right weapons on the freaking field, the right dynamic, so we can compete and win a freaking championship or two. We keep knocking at the freaking door, fam. Sometimes the knocking ain't working. You got to kick the damn door down. We're knocking at the door. We're almost there. No, we got to kick that bitch down. They ain't gonna open the door for us. We got to kick the bitch down. You know what I mean? Like a SWAT team, man. Kick the bitch down. One guy kicks it down. The rest swarm in and take over the bitch. Like, that's it. You know what I'm doing? Not answering. You got to kick that shit down, man. Real talk. If you guys enjoyed that segment, smash that like. Smash that like, I said, damn it. All right. Let's move on. Next topic before we get out of here. It saddens me. But we are saying a farewell to a Buffalo Bill that's been really cool to have on the squad. And that is Micah Hyde. Bro, Micah Hyde, look at young Micah Hyde when he was coming to the Bills. Now he's got all lined up beard, all looking fresh and all that stuff. But fam, it is cool for what Micah Hyde was able to do, and it's cool for what the organization was able to do. They said, Micah, we'd love you to come back. And Micah came back as he came back as a special player / practice squad / coach / whatever the heck you want to deem him as. But it was really cool that Micah was able to come back, be in the locker room for the last time, build, teach, you know what I mean, be around success again. And now he's officially called it a career. And what a career he's had, man. So for those that are not too familiar, the young bucks that are in this room, Micah Hyde started his career in Green Bay. So small market team that pretty much loves their team. They love their football. The history is large there, right? And Micah Hyde, man, my man said, I'm still mad I wasted my Micah Hyde and Jordan Poyer in their man. And this is what I want to get to too, right? Because I want to give Micah his flowers. Him coming to Buffalo was super dope because At the time, it was Whaley that was the GM at the time. Whaley gave him a decent size deal. I remember the deal was like, it was 5 years, 35 mil or something stupid like that. I remember why I remember that deal so vividly. I don't know why. But I remember saying, yo, I'm not too familiar with Micah Hyde, but I've heard his name. We're giving him 35 mil at the time was a lot. 35 mil, golly. All right, bet. Let's see what he does. And then Micah Hyde started doing Micah Hyde things and making plays. And I'll tell you right now, 2 plays that vividly stand out for me with Micah Hyde. And it's the onside kick, return for a touchdown. My man anticipated, timed it, took it back to the house. You gotta love that. That's like retro, bring it back to what Micah Hyde was able to do for this franchise, man. Gave life to the defense. Like, you knew when those two, him and Poyer, were back there, we ain't got to worry. They made the job of the corners great. Corners can do what they need to do because the back end is taken care of. Man, that duo of Poyer and Hyde was something. And so consistent. We had those boys for 7 years, bro. That's incredible. And I always was a big fan of Micah Hyde because you can put him on the corner if you needed to. If you needed to put him in a corner, you can. If you needed to get him in the box, you can. You needed to play long ball, you absolutely can. So that onside kick return for a touchdown, chef's kiss. But the one that stands out to me the most, and I think you guys all know where I'm going with this, playoff game against the Pats. Macaroni Jones tries to put a beautiful ball, and it looked pretty. Beautiful ball. I think he was going to Nelson Aguilar. And in comes Micah Hyde absolutely out of nowhere to dive and pluck the ball away. And it was perfect timing. You couldn't have timed that any perfect than what Micah Hyde did on that very play. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. And he calls it a career after 11 seasons with the Bills. Some people are saying 12 years because they're trying to count this one. I don't count this one. You know, it don't count. But 11 seasons with the Bills, with the 11 seasons for both the Bills and Packers, excuse me. He had 482 solo tackles, 162 assists, 5 sacks, 9 fumble recoveries, and 24 interceptions. 24 interceptions. Yo, give that brother some love, man, because he really did it, man. That 2021 season was a great season. And you know what? One Pro Bowl in his career definitely sets him apart and puts him on the wall. I don't know about you guys, but would you put Micah Hyde on the Wall of Fame or the Ring of Honors, whatever they call it for Buffalo? I would absolutely do that for him. Micah Hyde, he still comes back to the community, gives back to the community, has the softball game where he gets all the guys to come out and play and do all that good stuff, bro. Nobody can hate on this guy at all. Nobody can hate. And the fact that he came in and we were 1 game away, how dope would it have been for us to go to the Super Bowl and have him on Radio Row answering questions, having a good time, and who knows? I mean, maybe he plays, maybe he doesn't. Maybe they say, you know what, suit up, but you're going to be inactive. Who knows, man? But it was great. It was great to have this brother. And listen, man, farewell to him, man. He had a great career, and maybe we'll see him again in a coaching capacity. You just never know. You just never know with these days. But these players, a lot of these players now that we've been watching from way back when are now starting to coach. I mean, for crying out loud, Antoine Randall L. I used to watch Antoine. I was like, "You, that boy, nice, man. Man, I wish he could be on a Bill." Coaching. Aaron Glenn. When I used to play Madden. Aaron Glenn, bro. Now he's a head coach of the Jets. So a lot of these, it goes to show you how old we get now. We get mad old now. Crazy. So farewell to our guy Micah Hyde. I think he had a great career, and what a Bill he was. What an example of a good dude. And it sucks because you want to see these boys go out on a good note. For Micah Hyde, he went out on a good note. He's felt good with his career. It's unfortunate it kind of got cut short with the injury, but away he goes. And then you got Jordan Poyer that I'm still going to show love for Jordan Poyer as well. You know he loves Buffalo, but I mean time came to an end with him in Buffalo. And now we got a new and surging safety group right now with Cole Bishop and Taylor Rapp, and you love to see it. And I think that I think Micah Hyde coming back and being a big, huge help to Cole Bishop really will get Cole Bishop into his bag. And I'm excited to see what Cole Bishop is able to do this offseason and going into next year. So him, Taylor Rapp doing their thing. It's not, it's not Micah Hyde and Jordan Poyer, but we might have something. We'll see. We might have something. But that's where we stand right now. So farewell to my guy, Micah Hyde. Love to see it. And we'll see. We'll see if he comes back in some kind of coaching capacity. I'd love to see that. Now, I wanted to get into something else before I get out of here, because I was just going to end the show right now, but I'm curious. I wanted to see something, and I wanted to see if we could play a little game here. Let me change my background real quick. Show some love to my guy. So I don't know if you guys mess around with Spot Track, and they usually have this tool where you can kind of mess around with the tool and manage the Bills roster. And I wanted to see if we can kind of mess around with it a little bit. Mess around with that a little bit. My man, I see Real King says, yo, you should clip that and send that to my man Micah Hyde. Shoot, he's gonna get so many tributes. But listen, if he F's with it, he F's with it, man. But I like my head. I was always a big fan of Micah Hyde. That guy was class all day. Super chats. Let me get to my super chats. I got my man JR in the building. JR says, yo, trade Greg Rousseau, and 2 firsts for Miles, sign Khalil Mack. That would be nasty. To get Khalil Mack and Myles Garrett, that would be something. That would be something. And I'll be all for it, but I think you'd have to give a little bit more. 2 firsts. They said they're not looking for 2 firsts. So we may not even have to give up 2 firsts. We might have to just get the first and a second and Greg Rousseau, because they get a young pass rusher. Greg's only like 24. So they get a young pass rusher that can defend the run, and we get a guy that wants out. I can't see why that can't happen. They'll probably try to get greedy somewhere and ask for more, but shoot, we'll see. How bad do we want it? Richie Fresh. What up, Rich? Rich says, yo, I'll lose a tad of faith in Garrett or Crosby if they ain't signed. Shoot, I ain't mad at you, bro. Like, we got to do something. And if you're going to tell me, we'll wait till the draft, bro, we pick 30th. What the hell's coming to you in the 30th pick that's worth it? Listen, the draft is a crapshoot, so you might get a talent that falls. But for the most part, all your top, Jared Verse, ain't no way Jared Verse was going to drop to where we were picking. So it becomes interesting at that point. So he said, yeah, I'll lose faith if we can't get Garrett or Crosby. When in God's creation do you get it done? Not to mention losing 4 straight to the same team can damage psyche, in my opinion. Stop wasting Allen. Listen, any fan that drops this has every right to feel this way, because I think we all feel this way in a way. The boy's 29 years old. You blink, he'll be 32. Blink another time, he's 37. And now we're wondering what the hell and where did the time go? And we're about to lose Allen. And if Allen at that point doesn't say, yo, see you later, I ain't doing it. It's been 10 plus years. We've still been able to get it. This is time where I move on. Or does he retire a bill? With the way free agency and all that stuff goes, who knows? But you're right, man. There comes a time where, like, fam, you got your shit or get off the pot. Shit or get off the pot. Here we go. Alton Venezuela. Cooper Kupp is washed, fam. He's too injury prone. It's fair. It is fair, because that's probably why LA is like, yo, we've seen what we need to see from you, brother. And Puka Nacua is an absolute beast. We all right. So farewell to you as well. So, but that's a chance you take with these type of players. Are you willing to risk all that money to a guy that, could potentially not stay healthy, especially in adverse weather? Now that it gets cold, are you brittle when it's cold outside? Like, how you react? So we have no idea. But where did he go? What school did he go to? Didn't he go to like West Michigan or where? I know he went to, because I remember looking at him coming out of college, and I was like, yo, who this white boy that can play? That boy nice. I forgot what school. I know he didn't go to a school that was too crazy. Cooper Cup College. What college did you go to? I know it wasn't some school. Eastern Washington University. There you go. I know it was something. Eastern Washington. Like, that boy, I mean, Eastern Washington, I mean, it ain't cold out there. But I'm just saying, if he comes to Buffalo, I ain't mad at it. Especially if you can pair him with what we got right now. And you got somebody on the defense. I'm more worried about what we bring on the defense. We'll learn to do something with that offense somehow, some way. They need to get me a dog on the defensive side and revamp that and get me a dog on the offense. You got to do something, Brandon B. We can't just sit there and run it back just the way it is. I ain't running shit back. I'm not running that same unit back. We can't run it back because we're missing something clearly. Golly, man, you got me all worked up again. I ain't trying to get worked up. Anyway, let me share this real quick with you guys. If you could spare 5 minutes with me. And maybe on a Friday show, I'll go into much greater depth when looking at this, because I haven't really perused too closely into this. But let me share my screen, and away we go. So let me get this out of the way. So on the spot rack, you can kind of go and look at the financial summary and look at the Bills and what they're able to do. So right now, as of right now, look at this. Total cap space, okay, 292 mil. Okay, 6. So they got a pretty rich. Rich money on that squad. I mean, 292 mil, godly, right? Top 51 minus 10 mil. We're 28th. Nothing in the reserve list, and right now, dead cap. We're 21st with 5 million in dead cap. All right. So what does this mean? So I'm looking at. Let me just get this crap out the way. And forgive me if I don't mess around with this too often. So I'm just looking at right now. There's guys that we can actually cut June 1st. Okay. And there's void years, and there's a whole lot of things that we can do. It looks like they've really improved this thing. So when you go to manage your roster, you have the ability to mess around and do some things with this squad. So as of right now, okay, we're broke. That's what it tells me. We're broke. So what can we do with this? So Von Miller, I cannot see the Bills bringing Von Miller back. So, they've definitely added some stuff to this map. Okay, cool. So we're not doing no quick trade. We got to release this brother, right? There's a dead cap hit of $15 million. Golly. So is there a way we can cut this guy after the fact? Because I know I thought I saw we can cut him after. New cap hit. Let me see if I release him. Does it give me another option? Golly, it doesn't give me an option. So we saved 8 mil by cutting Von Miller, but I know you can cut him after June, which makes us not have a $50 million dead cap. But anyway, let's keep rolling. Let's keep rolling just for now. Forgive me if I'm doing this all wrong, but I'll figure it out and we'll get to it. What would you guys do with Matt Milano? He's got 2 years left on his deal. Do you let him walk at this point, or is you keep him for another year? I've always wondered about that. Right? Greg Rousseau's got 1 year left on his deal. Do you trade him now rather than pay him, especially if you're going to get something? So obviously, we're definitely not going to release him. He's obviously, you can get him into an extension, assign and apply post-June OC. You can apply a post-June release, but that's not going to do. I'm not going to do that. Why couldn't I do that with freaking Von Miller then? They gypped me on that. I thought I could do that with Von Miller. A-holes. Anyway, so right now, we're -2 in the hole. Not good, boys. Not good. So DaQuan Jones, what are we looking at here? We release him. We save. There's a dead cap. Golly, dead cap everywhere, man. Bro, Brandon B is going to have a hard time. That brother's going to have a hard time because there's not a whole lot of places we can move some pieces. $4 million dead cap hit. We can a post-June cut. But are you really trying to cut AJ Epinesa? James Cook is in the fold right now. You could trade him. Oh, boy. Listen, I'm not going to do this right now because I don't want to do this to you guys because I feel like I got to get myself more familiar with this cap before I jump in and start messing around with stuff. So let me chill for now. Because there's so much I want to do, there's so much I want to do, but I want to make sure I'm doing it properly and correctly. So I'm frozen right now, but I'm sure I'll be unfrozen in just a moment. But hear me out. So what I'm going to do now, Rico, is the next selection under the release. I'll do this next show. We're going to sit here and kind of run through it and do what we can, just so we can get on par and do what we need to do. So my man said, yo, he really wants Cook gone. I don't. I'm looking at all options, man. I'm looking at all options. So that's why we're gonna veer this together. All right. But in the meantime, I think that's a show. I'm gonna keep it like that. For those that are listening on podcast form, I was about to go through a roster management profile and try to, look at some releases and things that we can do to kind of better our situation. But there's a lot of stuff that I gotta look and make sure that I'm doing the right thing for the whole squad, so we all can see what can truly be done. But I'll tell you right now, Brandon Beane is going to have a very tough time figuring out what can be done and who can go where, et cetera, et cetera. So we'll just leave it at that. So that being said, I'm gonna call it a night. I've landed the plane a couple times. So I'm going to land the plane and actually, get the F out and head on home. So if you guys enjoyed this show, please do me a favor, smash that like. If this gave you a couple laughs, gave you some things to think about, drop me a line in the comment section, right? Comment section. Once this video is over, come back to the comment section and drop me a line, right? The more comments, the more that we interact with this channel, the more the algorithm is nice to us and the more it gets out to everybody else. All right. So that being said, if you guys enjoyed it, smash that like, and we'd love for you guys to come back and hang out with your boy. So I got to talk to my man Bot to see if we'll be back at it again on Friday. Now that the off season is upon us. So we're going to try to kind of keep it going, keep the conversations going, anything that's trending, anything that breaks. If it's not me bringing it to you or Bot bringing it to you, or we'll both be bringing it to you, one way or another, we're going to keep you guys informed. And this is the place you want to be. So we're going to be all over it. If you have not followed me on social media, go ahead and follow me on that X, Rico_BF. If you haven't followed us on Twitter, follow us on Twitter, Buffalo Fanatics, on Instagram, Buffalo Fanatics, and follow us on Facebook, man. Get everywhere. And where you want your Bills stuff, this is where you want to be with Buffalo Fanatics. So we appreciate you as always. And you guys have yourself a great night. And until next time, we'll catch you guys on the flip side. Yeah. And we'll see you guys maybe Friday. All right. Y'all have a great night. Buffalo it's your boy Rico. And we'll catch you guys on the flip. Peace. It's Don Brown. Yeah. I'm a fanatic. I'm a Buffalo fanatic. Play good, be humble. Number 17, the captain. I'm a Buffalo fanatic. I'm a Buffalo fanatic. I'm a Buffalo fanatic. I'm a Buffalo fanatic. Ay, I'm a Buffalo fanatic. Just like Rico, going live, talking to my people. Cause the team's driven like West Hurt. Other teams can't, it's a repo. The opponents gotta call up Triple O. Bills Mafia, we heating up, we too electrical. We got Bean the plug, electric show. We wired up, hit up Rico, he fired up. We know where we stand on the power rankings. Other teams fans in the comments hating, we block them all. We protecting Josh. Salute to him, he the general now. Rico got legends for interviews. How the Buffalo Bills got the best fan base. Away games, red, white, blue in the crowd. Hey, I'm a Buffalo fanatic. Play.